Good evening, and we're glad to see you. Welcome to episode 188 of the award-winning Beyond Social Media Show podcast, the podcast for marketing, advertising, public relations, and communications professionals. We're recording live on YouTube on May 18th, 2017, and as usual, we have a ton of stuff we want to cover. My name is B.L. Ochman. I am here with my co-host, David Erickson, and here are some of the things we're going to cover tonight. Artificially intelligent phones, digitized Minnesota, Alexa for seniors, email automation for everybody, speakers that have ears, playable tattoos, hope for Parkinson's, trending conversations, PrezSupervillain, elite Facebook groups, and autoplay. So it's always, hi Dave. So I always get to start off with what I think is the best thing that happened this week. And at the Google Developer Conference this week, their CEO, Sundar Pichai, announced a new technology they call Google Lens. It's not exactly a new technology because they've been toying around with it for quite a while, but the idea is that they will leverage Google's computer vision with AI, artificial intelligence technology, and your phone's camera. And during a couple of demos, they showed off what it could do. For example, you could point your camera at a flower and it will tell you what it is. It will tell you where to buy them. It will tell you where to find out more about them. In another example, he showed how Lens could connect you to a home's Wi-Fi network by snapping a photo of the sticker on the router, which is a little scary if you ask me. In that case, Google Lens could identify that it's looking at a network's name and password and then offer you the option to tap a button and connect automatically. And then the third example that he showed was standing in front of a business storefront, and Google could pull up the name, the rating, and other business listing information in a card that appeared over the screen. And then during another demonstration, they talked about how Lens could be integrated into Google Assistant. So there's a new button in the Assistant app, and you're able to launch Lens and insert a photo into your conversation with the assistant, and then it can process the data that the photo contains. And to show how this could work, he holds his camera up to a concert marquee for a Stone Foxes show, and Google Assistant pulls up info on ticket sales, and then he says, add this to my calendar, and it does. It also translates languages, and it will even clean up and edit your photos. However, at Engadget, they said there's reason to be skeptical. Google's AI capabilities have fallen short in the past, like when its photo app mistakenly labeled Black people as gorillas, and we rely more on technology to catalog and define the world's information. As that happens, companies like Google have to make sure that their algorithms have the nuances of human identity. And then he says, hiring a more diverse workforce would be a good start.
Well, that's certainly, he certainly got a point there, but complaining about Google's artificially intelligent technology falling short is kind of like they are on the leading edge. I mean, they are leading the pack. The smart thing that they do is they make their technology, their machine learning, their computer vision, their deep learning technology available. They court developers. They make it easy to plug into their cloud services, so they're getting all kinds of data that helps improve their own technologies. So, I mean, they're really leading the pack on this, and that's why their products work a hell of a lot better than most everybody else's. Look at Google Photos.
And that's exactly what Google Photos is getting better every minute. You know, it really is. But that's exactly why I made that the lead story, because I think it's a really major big deal.
Yeah. So this is not nearly as huge news as that, but it's kind of cool for my home state of Minnesota. The Star Tribune, this is from a article at the Poynter Institute by Kristen Hare. The Star Tribune, my hometown newspaper, has digitized more than 54,000 issues from the past 150 years of their publication. They've made them all available online as PDFs. All the way back to 1867, which is like a mere 9 years removed from Minnesota statehood. I was a paper boy, not back in Minnesota statehood, but
You weren't?
was a paper boy as a boy for the Tribune back in the day. They used to, when I was delivering papers as a paper boy, they used to publish 2 editions a day. The morning edition was the Minneapolis Tribune. The evening paper was the Minneapolis Star, and the papers merged into the Star Tribune in 1982. But this is a really cool feature. They're monetizing their archives, so you, as a subscriber, you can get access to it, but you can also buy individual editions of their archives. So it's a trend that we're seeing with newspapers getting their archives online and finding a way to make money off of them, much like the Atlantic's Life Timeline app that we talked about in episode 177 at beyondsocialmediashow.com/177. But it's pretty cool to have that as my hometown paper having that history available. So.
I like that idea a lot. The New York Public Library digitized all their photos, and the millions of them in the photo collection.
They put them in the public domain too, right?
They did, yeah. Those are free, but I think that may change. Anyway, in another completely different area, I just thought this was absolutely hilarious, and I have a good story and a bad story about Alexa and Amazon Echo. But Saturday Night Live did a skit with an Amazon Echo Silver for seniors, and it's specifically designed for the greatest generation in partnership between Amazon and AARP. It had Kenan Thompson, Kate McKinnon, Leslie Jones, Kyle Mooney, and Adie Bryant. And so you saw the senior citizens call Alexa names like Amelia, Anita, Amanda, Aretha, Allegra, Alana, Odessa. But because it's for seniors, it responds to any name even remotely like Odessa, like Alexa. And it's super loud so they can hear it. And it'll play the music that they loved when they were young, and it has a quick scanner to help them find things. So they demonstrate that by, Amelia, where did I put my phone? And Alexa says, the phone is in your right hand. And it has a feature for long rambling stories where she says, and then he asks her, he says, one question, Alessa, how many did old Satchel strike out last night? And she says, Satchel Paige died in 1982. He says, well, we'll see about that. And then Kate McKinnon is covered in blankets, and she says, Alessandra, turn the heat up. And Alexa says, it is already 100 degrees in this room. You really have to watch this video. It's really funny. But you could see it.
Absolutely. So speaking of sound, I have an interesting sound-related article. This is from a Mashable article by Ryan Sedmark. Tattoos that play sound. So what you do is you record a sound that you want on your tattoo. You upload it to a Skin Motion app. Then tattoo artists who are certified create a sound wave shaped tattoo based on your sound. And then people can scan it with the app, which then plays the sound. So this is
it's a real tattoo on your skin, or
a real tattoo on your skin that's in the shape of a waveform.
Yeah.
And the app reads the waveform and plays the sound that you've uploaded to the app. This is from ideas from a company called Skin Motion. The app is not available yet, so it will soon be launching. Launch date was not available, but clever idea. I don't know how much it will take off or not, but I thought it was interesting.
Somehow I wonder, you don't know this about me, but I happen to be an expert on the history of tattoos since I introduced the fake tattoos to the U.S. and back in the 90s. And so I know a lot about the history of tattoos, even to the point where cavemen used to put ashes from the fire under their skin. Those were the first tattoos to make themselves more fierce to animals. And King Gustav of Sweden had a tattoo, and Winston Churchill's mother had one. She had a tennis bracelet tattooed on her arm because her husband wouldn't buy her the one that she wanted. So sound is like the next thing, I mean, I think that's hilarious. So
they had some examples of parents with their babies crying. So the sound of the baby crying, which really I don't know why I'd want
Why
that.
do you know?
Pets sound, the bark of of your dog is a pet. So
Okay. I don't understand wanting to put tattoos on your skin to begin with. So, this is just the next step. But speaking about next steps, Microsoft has a prototype watch, a wearable device that is offering new hope to Parkinson's patients. I first read about this in Scott Monte's The Full Monty, and then I started looking into it, and it's really quite an extraordinary story with several different aspects. There's more than 10 million people in the world who live with Parkinson's, 60,000 diagnosed in the US alone. There's no cure, but now there may be hope. And this Microsoft thing centers around a graphic designer named Emma Lawton, and she was 29 when she was diagnosed with Parkinson's. And of course, drawing is a huge part of her life, but the tremor in her hand has prevented her, as it's grown more pronounced, from writing and drawing straight lines. And so along comes Haiyan Zhang from Microsoft and this wearable tech invention that's changing Emma's life and that could help others. And Haiyan Zhang is innovation director at Microsoft Research in Cambridge, and her whole career is devoted to inventing cutting-edge technology to enable new experiences. And the story of Emma Lawton is part of a BBC documentary called The Big Life Fix, which is coming out. And Emma Lawton is posting daily video blog posts on her YouTube channel for a year about her life with Parkinson's. And she has things like, how when she walks home from work, that's the only time that she can walk comfortably without the issues that happen to her when she's walking other times. And she has one where she's dyeing her hair with her hands shaking. And I mean, it's just kind of remarkable. They range from 1 minute up to all the way to 10 minutes where she explains things that are going on. And she's very personable, and you like her and you root for her. It's really a great thing. But this could turn out to be a very big deal for a very lot of people.
Well, very cool.
It's innovation for good.
Nice. So this is a smaller deal for a lot of people. MailChimp is giving their automation tools, making available to everyone. Previously, this was a feature of MailChimp that was only available to paying customers, but now they're making available to everyone, according to a blog post at MailChimp. During episode 173, we talked about how MailChimp had integrated Facebook advertising with their email services, but now we've got an additional feature. So everyone has access to the marketing automation tools. Examples include like welcoming new subscribers, an email that welcomes new subscribers, or one that confirms unsubscribe. So everybody's gotten those. Happy birthday emails that you get from restaurants are an example about marketing automation or email automation. Email courses where you get a new course every week through the email. Onboarding emails, cart abandonment emails from e-commerce shops, product recommendations based on your purchase history. Those are the types of things you can do with this automation. So now it's available at everything. We use MailChimp for some of our clients. We use it to send follow-up emails, the automation feature to send up follow-up emails for people who request product information. Send them automatically, get that product information in their hands. So cool new feature.
I have been not paying attention to MailChimp. I hear echoes for a while, and I will go back and take a look at it. We got big echoes here. So I want to talk. I want to talk about somebody I met on Twitter whose name is PrezSupervillain. And what he does is he's followed already by 38,000 people, but he only follows 4. And I learned about him through my friend Rick Bruner. And what he does is he takes real Trump quotes and photoshops them into comics. And so it's a project of DM Higgins, and the banner artwork is by Stephen Byrne, and there's D.M. Higgins is the writer of comics like Jill Trent, Science Sleuth, and her website says that she's the writer, editor, and publisher behind Super Dames Comics. And before making comics, she was a journalist and news editor in Washington, D.C. And so these are really just hilarious. And her collaborator, Stephen Byrne, is the creator of absolutely hilarious animated adventures of Donald Trump. So we will link to those in your show notes and at beyondsocialmediashow.com/188 later today.
Well, maybe we can find those in the trending conversations feature, the new trending conversations feature in Facebook. This is a TechCrunch article by Sarah Perez. Facebook is rolling a new feature, the latest feature called Latest Conversations in the search results. So it shows the most recent public posts about timely topics that a lot of people are buzzing about across the network. It gives you a wider view of what people are saying about a news story or other subjects that are popular.
Is that what's over on the right
kind
side
of
now?
exposes you to the sentiments that you wouldn't get within your social circle. So you'll see posts from other people that you wouldn't be normally exposed to. It only appears on mobile for now. I checked out it on the mobile app, and it is on mobile, but I haven't seen it on the desktop version yet. But it appears within its own section within the search results, and includes a running and live updating counter showing how many people are talking about that topic. It doesn't appear for every search, obviously, only searches that are current conversation that is critical mass, and it doesn't have a live updating stream of posts. So if you want to get the latest posts, there's a new post button that you have to tap. But it is a cool new feature, and it's something I'll keep an eye on as PR guy to see how it works with like breaking news stories.
That's very interesting. Facebook is also adding a new feature to groups where groups can screen new members with a questionnaire. This is from a story by Josh Contine and at TechCrunch. And the new group admins will let you establish up to 3 questions for people requesting to join their group, and it lets the admins screen potential members to ensure they're the right fit for the group that they'll actually add constructively rather than just be spamming or trolling. And group admins can find the Ask Pending Members question option in their group's settings menu, and then they have the option to add up to 3 questions, and the members can answer in up to 250 characters each, and only admins and moderators see the answers to the questions, which are not posted to the groups. Users who hit join on a group will get a questionnaire to fill out immediately, and those who are invited to join will get a notification linked to the form. You can edit your answers until they've been reviewed. And next month, Facebook's going to hold its first community summit for group admins in Chicago, and there we might expect more product announcements based on the goals in Zuckerberg's, I always want to call him Zuckerman, in Zuckerberg's manifesto, and those might include subgroups, more specific roles and permissions for moderators, maybe collecting analytics and performance about the growth of the group. Anything is possible with Facebook because there's always something new and it's hard to keep up with, but that's the latest for groups.
That's really a good idea. I expect there's a lot of people who'll be asking, what is the wind speed, velocity of an unladen swallow, as one of their quiz questions. But it's a good idea, and Facebook is putting a lot of development effort behind bolstering the features of groups and the functionality of groups. So that's interesting to watch. Are we done with the news story, the good stories?
Yeah, I have one that could have been in good or bad, depending, about Amazon Echo.
Okay, well, save it for bad because I've got a bad one I want to start with.
All right.
Tailing on all the good stuff we've been saying about Facebook, here's a bad one. Facebook autoplay videos. They finally rolled out. I can't stand them.
They're horrible. Horrible.
In the mobile app, I'm scrolling through stuff. They're playing all the time, and that's all I got. I don't like it. And I'm not. You're usually one that complains about Facebook's newest features, BL. So this is unusual for me.
I hate that. I mean, I just really hate that. But you know, I also don't spend a hell of a lot of time on Facebook. Really, I mean, I check in there every day, but I don't hang out a lot. I don't get news from there. I don't, there's a lot of things I don't do there. And that's basically because I find Facebook annoying. Okay, so here's my Amazon Echo Alexa story. We talked about last week how now Alexa is can make calls, but it was launched with a major privacy flaw, big time. This is from a Verge story by Chris Wells. And Amazon seems to have made a significant oversight, and because what they did when they brought voice calls and messaging into Echo speakers, they gave no way to block communication that you might not want. So that makes the possibility for harassment and for spam. And they say they corrected it, but the reason it's in bad is because they didn't think of that to begin with. And so how it was going was, as long as someone had your phone number and the Alexa mobile app, and an Amazon account, they could place voice calls, record voice messages, send text messages that would reach both your Echo device and the Alexa app, and that would give them a direct line to a speaker in your home. So they confirmed that a block feature was going to be available, and that they know this is important to customers. Duh. I mean, what a stupid way to launch something. And perhaps most alarming is that even if you block someone's phone number from your smartphone, their calls to the Echo speaker would still go through. So that's terrible. And, that's just got to go away. And if you want someone off the list, you have to erase them from your contacts altogether. Your phone number central to all of this is tied to your Amazon account. It's not a two-way handshake. So that was a really, really bad idea. And The Verge confirmed, that this new feature is still being tested. It's not done. Sucks.
Well, there you go.
Well, it's more than there you go. That's a really big fail.
A major privacy flaw in Alexa is that it's a microphone in your phone.
Yes, well, I don't have one. Hello. Don't want one. Don't need one.
All right. Do you got any other bad stuff?
No, that was my bad one.
All right. We're light on bad stuff this week. We must be
good.
Feeling better.
Good. Well, we could go on and talk about the politics, but we're not going to do that because that's very depressing. So that would bring us to shiny new objects.
Do you have any?
I do not.
All right. So I got two. I got your back. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate that, but I do have a project. Okay.
My first one. I've been sitting down to learn PHP programming language. I've hacked around it with it. I know enough to be dangerous, but I don't want to be dangerous anymore, so I'm trying to learn it thoroughly. So with that setup here too, for people who are interested in PHP development, which is the programming language that WordPress is built on, basically. Here are two tools that will help you with that. XAMPP, it's XAMPP. XAMPP is, they claim to be the most popular PHP development environment. It's open source, completely free, easy to install, Apache web server software. And it also contains MariaDB, which is database. PHP is the scripting language that connects database content to HTML. And Perl is another scripting language. So these are the essentials that you need to develop websites using PHP on your desktop. And the software is available for Windows, Mac, and Linux. So that's one. We'll include a link to the setup if you're interested in doing this. And then once you got that installed, you'll need an editor. And so here's an open source editor for you called Brackets. Brackets at brackets.io. It's an open source text editor that understands web design. So it's color-coded code. So it's easy to understand what is scripting, what is JavaScript, what is cascading style sheets, what is HTML. It's great for designing in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and PHP. There's extensions. It's open source, so there's a community of developers who add extensions to it. It's available for Windows and Mac and free as well. So there you go. Two cool tools for web developers if you're new to it.
Well, I just do love when you get all geeky on us, Dave. What have you used it to design a site yet?
I'm just starting with, I'm going through the I'm starting with the fundamentals and working my way through advanced web development. Like I said, I know enough to be dangerous, but I want to learn the basics so I know exactly how everything works. So,
Well, I admire
so the
that
answer to that is no, not yet.
The answer to that is that you are so much more geeky than I'm ever going to be. But that's why my new project, which I'm about to launch, I will not see you again until June because we're going to skip next week. I'm about to launch funwalkers.com, and Funwalkers are license plates for walkers, rollators, and scooters. They are meant to be a Father's Day gift for starters, for relatives and friends who use those walkers, rollators, and scooters, and they have sayings like, yes, it was a skydiving accident, and on my way to ballet class, graduated without Wikipedia. There are about 20 different sayings, and you'll be able to make your own. And I hope to launch this site tomorrow, so
Awesome.
by the time we see you next, it'll be rolling and you'll be able to buy Funwalkers for the people in your family that need a laugh.
What's the domain name?
Funwalkers.com.
All right. Fantastic. I can't wait.
Yes.
Let's wrap this up. Daily numbers. This is from a Washington Post article. I found this. Racist searches by state according to Google Trends. So it's a map. There's no data here that I'm going to cite. I'm just going to say we're going to have this on the show notes and you can see the map. But basically, it's pretty much where you would imagine they would be. The red spots and the orange spots are in the south. There's actually quite a bit in the northeast, but yeah, not so much in the Midwest, and very very little in the west. So yeah, the antebellum states are where you find the most racist searches, not surprisingly.
I'm surprised that that's not happening in Texas.
Well, and Texas has pretty mixed demography. They've got a lot of big Hispanic population and everything. So there you go. Just
Horrible
thought
that there
you
has to
should
be
know. A little
such a
depressing,
map.
but I thought you should know.
Yeah, well, I'm sad that there is such a map, and I guess more and more there are things like that I guess we should be aware of.
Right. So we're going to skip next week. We're going to take the holiday off, and we'll be back in the following week, the next month, on June 1st. So pick us up on the flip side. Until then, thanks for watching episode number 188 of the Beyond Social Media Show. We will have, as you know, links to everything that we talked about in the show notes at beyondsocialmediashow.com/188. Let us know what you think by leaving us a review at beyondsocialmediashow.com/love. You can find BL online. She's on Twitter at What's Next. Her blog is what'snextblog.com. Her YouTube channel is What's Next Blog. You can find her on Google Plus at +BL and I'm on Twitter at @Erickson. My blog is the e-strategyblog.com. I also blog for my agency. Our agency's website is creativepr.com/blog. My YouTube channel is eStrategy. You can find us on the web, the podcast on the web at beyondsocialmediashow.com. Our YouTube channel is Beyond Social Media Show. Google Plus, we're on there. We're on Twitter at BS Media Show. Subscribe to us if you're new to this show. Subscribe to us on iTunes. We're on Stitcher. We're on Google Play Music. We're on iHeartRadio. You can watch the podcast on beyondsocialmediashow.com/188. And until 2 weeks from now, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.